Very late. All right, we are back live with a very late edition of the BlameGirl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we got Nathan Wallace in the house today. Can't wait to talk to him. What's up, Nathan?
Nothing much going on. Just looking forward to the podcast. Let's have some fun.
How was your weekend? Very late. All right, we are back live with a very late edition of the BlameGirl podcast with. Just ignore that. How was your weekend?
The weekend was good. Got to spend some time with the kids. I did that Kenan Thompson contest yesterday, which pretty much me and the rest of the country did it, I guess. I don't know. It was fun though. Yeah, packed house.
How did it go?
Actually, it went really good. They put it more as like an audition type situation. So it was kind of like doing an audition. They said they had a bunch of like 4K cameras up. And my set went really well. So I was happy with it, but who knows? I don't know.
Well, for anybody listening might not know what that is. You want to explain what that is?
What's that? The Kenan Thompson thing?
Yeah.
So originally it was supposed to be a contest that Kenan Thompson was putting on, scouting the country for comedians to put on different shows and get in front of different bookers. But now it's not a contest anymore. They basically just get all the comedians from the region, it looks like, put them on a show, and then they are auditioning for like a handful of bookers. They said the Dry Bar people will look at it, and Kenan Thompson and a bunch of different people will see the videos. And it was pretty cool. They had it set up with some like 4K cameras, and we all got 3 minutes. It went really good.
So you get a good 3-minute video out of it, probably, right?
They didn't send me the video of it, but that's okay. Yeah, I got plenty of videos, that's for sure.
Did you say it had to be clean?
No, actually they said it originally was supposed to be clean, and then they told us right before that they didn't want it filthy. They said if it was going to be filthy, then you have to be really good, because there are going to be people that are looking for dirty comedians. I'm more of a PG-13 type guy,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never really heard you do anything, too blue.
No, I got that 69 seesaw thing. That's about as far as I go with it.
I always try to keep an eye on the blue comics, Gotta
Yeah.
protect my neighborhood.
Am I freezing up or are y'all freezing up?
No, it's you.
Oh, it's me. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Terry, how was your weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Oh, I did mushrooms this weekend, and that was fun. But other than that, nothing. And that was also
That's
fun.
a pretty regular occurrence for you these days, right?
Well, it does help with, the voices. So
With the voices, you say?
yeah, for sure. It definitely puts the goblins to sleep.
So I didn't really I did chores this weekend, so I guess we can get straight to the blaming. Are y'all ready?
Nobody cares about your weekend.
Well, good, because
What
I didn't
kind
really
of
happen
chores?
this weekend. All right. So
The sexy kind, Nathan.
right after we got off of last week's podcast, dismal podcast with Terry, y'all remember he was very upset about how the election may or may not go.
I
Let
thought.
me get in here.
All
Let
right.
me get in here. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
I sent him this article because someone threw a White Claw at Ted Cruz at the Astros celebration. And I was like, so this is small things, right, Terry? Who's to blame? Why did someone throw a freaking White Claw?
No. I am not going to let you glorify this behavior just because it's somebody you don't like. Shit like this is not acceptable on either side. If a Trump supporter throws a beer at a comedian because they disagree with her, she gets to go on Jimmy Kimmel. If somebody throws it at Ted Cruz, I'm not going to applaud it. I mean, not to mention, I'm pretty sure that's a felony.
At least throw something a little manlier. Jesus, a White Claw.
Yeah, I know. Throw a Bud Light or something.
It was like, hey, Ted Cruz, I don't like you.
Well, that's
no.
the thing. The guy that was arrested said he was throwing it to him so he could drink it.
Yeah.
Do y'all believe that?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he told the Secret Service.
Yeah.
But
as he shotgunned two White Claws at Ted Cruz's head.
Yeah.
I just
You know,
wanted
after
to.
a
Or
couple of white,
maybe he just threw it at him because he's like, that's a man who likes White Claw for sure, 100%.
yeah. But after a couple of White Claw, you get a little crazy, and you just can't help but throw a White Claw at Ted Cruz. Maybe I don't know. But they said that
You can help it.
they said that one of the Astros, Ryan Stanek, he started this trend, or do I have them mixed up?
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Ryan Stanek, he's one of the Astros, and he started this trend of throwing beers during their parades, and that's all the guy was doing, maybe. Yeah, but y'all still don't believe him.
No, the only reason I don't believe him is because it was a White Claw. Like, who chugs a White Claw? Nobody. Nobody's chugging a White Claw. If you chug a White Claw, you're gonna simultaneously poop yourself.
He didn't want to give up a real beer. He gave up a White Claw.
That's okay. Maybe it was his wife's. He was like, "Well, I only got 2 Bush left."
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the wife's White Claw.
Let's get the White Claw to Ted Cruz. He looks like he drinks White Claws. He does.
It looks like he drinks the blood of young babies.
Terry, did it at least make you feel a little bit better?
I mean, I think it made everybody feel a little better because Ted Cruz is pretty much the most hated man in politics. Like, he's hated by Democrats, he's hated by Republicans, he's hated by anybody. He's got a hateable face. He's probably got the most punchable face in politics today.
Yeah. I've always
again, you can't praise this and then admonish others for the same shit. It's not a road you want to walk down, because it's going to start happening the other way too. So
Yeah.
the booing was fine. The booing, boo till your brains out. Fill your boots with that,
Yeah.
But
If
let's leave it at that.
If you're gonna throw anything at Ted Cruz, it should be bullets. And
Oh,
you guys
God,
just got
thank you.
Or
canceled.
maybe like a couple of tickets to Cancun or something, that would work.
I'll hold up. The Secret Service is at my door, guys. I'll
How
be
about a
back.
backbone? A backbone.
Yeah.
You could use one of those.
Mm.
I mean, this trans woman has a lot more backbone than Ted Cruz, that was put in Miami-Dade jail in the men's unit this week. Nikita Dragon, Miami-Dade put her, she's transitioned, and they put her in a male's unit jail, in a men's unit jail. Who's to blame, guys? Why did we do this to this poor woman?
Nate, I'm going to let you go ahead. And do you mind if I call you Nate? Because I always wanted to, and I never had the courage.
You can call me that. I prefer Nathan, but I don't mind Nathan. It doesn't bother me.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't be rude to our guest, Terry. Call him Nathan.
That I was polite about it.
No, you can call me Nate. A lot of people call me.
You were. I give you the credit. You were polite.
That well, honestly, first of all, this woman should have never been arrested. She got arrested for being naked and blaring music at her hotel, at a hotel called the Good Times Hotel. You can't name your hotel Good Times Hotel and expect people not to get naked and blast music. What are you doing? So why was she
False
even arrested?
advertising, right?
Yeah, come on. I mean, if I go to the Good Times Hotel, I'm expecting to see a transvestite naked by the pool.
She was a trans woman.
Oh, a trans woman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trans woman. Yeah, you got to be very careful. This whole show will be canceled.
Yeah.
Like, he said he was going to shoot Tom Cruise, and then he called this she a trans.
No. I think
Tom Cruise. We like Tom Cruise.
I think the problem is people just don't know. They think it's the same thing, but I think a transvestite is a derogatory term, if I'm not mistaken. But it's also, wait, let me finish. It's a term for drag queens. So now we have drag queens and we have trans women, because drag queens are men that just dress like women, and then trans women are women who have transitioned.
Oh, I know. I get in trouble all the time. I called a homeless person a bum the other day. You'd have thought
they're called the unhomed.
They were the unhomed. I was like, but he had a torn top hat. He was drinking
Why do you guys think that we didn't respect this trans woman's rights?
Well, I haven't answered, so don't say you guys. Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay.
I've actually been in jails before, and there's plenty of trans women in jails. They just don't a lot of them just transition once they get there. I swear, when I was like, man, I must have been like 15. Because my father used to have like prison ministry, and one time he took me along. Which was terrifying, by the way, because I always look like this, even when I was a kid. I still look like I was there to like foreclose on someone's house. And when I went in there, it was like 300 convicts, right? And then us and like 4 guards, unarmed. So like at any moment, this pops off in my mind, you know.
They could just revolt. They could revolt.
Yeah, but in the front row, in the front 2 rows, there was like 5 women there, and I leaned over to my dad and I said, "So they bring the guys and the women into the church service?" And he goes, "Those aren't women." Which, I mean, granted, this was what, 25
but how
years
long ago? Yeah, how long ago was that?
This would have been like 25 years ago.
The rules
So,
have changed a little bit now, especially when it comes
I don't know. I don't know.
If this woman has transitioned, do you think she should have been in a women's unit or a men's unit?
That is a good question. It's a really good question.
You ever seen
because I
Black?
see harms, and I don't know. I can look. You can. We can all say that. Look, trans people have the right to do whatever they want. You live out your life however you want to. It's all we got. All we got is our skin and bones. However you want to, adjust yours to your comfort level, I'm fine with. But there are some scientific norms that we have to just address, when it comes to things like sports and prison, and because it could be dangerous either way.
Yo, that's not the topic tonight.
I'm just saying it could be dangerous either way. If you put a trans woman into a female prison, she's going to have a strategic advantage over every other inmate in there when it comes to violence, because you know what a trans woman still is biologically, as far as muscles and bones and reaction time and ligaments and all that. Yeah. A 6 foot tall man.
You think it was okay, and you think that they probably had other trans women in the jail, is what you're saying?
I would like to believe, I don't know for sure, but I would like to believe that there would be some kind of segregation in this particular case, because there is a segregation for other things. If a cop gets arrested and goes to jail, he's not put with the general population for the same reason. It might be dangerous for him.
And I feel like being a trans woman in an all males unit makes you a little more susceptible to rapes, like
exactly. That's exactly my point.
Prison, clearly, but
yeah, but she says right. She says right in the article, she says, "I might look like a doll on the outside, but I hit like a man." Yeah, she says, "I look like a doll on the outside, but I hit like a man."
I was
but that's the point.
She probably should have said that.
Yeah.
If you put her in a men's jail, it's more dangerous for her. If you put her in a women's jail, it's more dangerous for everyone else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it is, because you don't know the kind of person you're putting in there. I'm sure she's a fine person and all that, and just got in a little trouble or whatever. But you never know what happens, when it's a maniac.
Oh, no. The article reads like this person is a total piece of crap, by the way. If you read the article, like at the end of the article, I was like, this woman definitely needs to be in jail. I don't know if it's the man side or the girl side, but she should be there.
I wasn't going to take that side of it, but yeah, it definitely leaned into piece of shit territory.
Yeah, for sure. Like at the end of it, I was like,
But remember, we have to make policy of this kind of stuff. So we have to walk as slow as our slowest person. Like we can't make a rule for one person and then change it for another. Even though I do believe that, in these kind of cases, judges should have a little discretion to, because then it actually, if they fuck up and make a mistake, it comes down on one person. If somebody has to make a decision and they do it wrong, you got somebody to blame.
It should maybe be a little bit more subjective, like when it comes to these things, because maybe not all women who have transitioned can still hit like men. Maybe some of them are a little bit more dainty than me. Even I've met trans women like that. So
I think if you have a vagina, you should not be put in general population with a bunch of men, even if it's a fake built vagina. It doesn't matter. It should
Yeah,
not be the
100%.
general population. I mean, because they're going to definitely, there's definitely people in there that are going to take advantage of that situation. So, should she be in there? No.
I mean, if we're
No,
separating
like I
men,
said, if I had to choose right now, I would say men's facility segregated. That's what I would say.
Yeah, they just have to go into some type of
well, it's just the safest way for everybody.
Yeah, what do they when do they put them in? They put what's a solitary confinement? They should just have to go into solitary or into a separate unit. I mean, just like they were planning on making a third batch.
It's like I almost
would say
understand why you brought up sports, because that's the argument there too. Like, do they deserve their own space?
Well, that's why.
And then maybe that's the case too. Do they deserve their own space? Because like, do you want to put a trans man on a men's unit? You know?
I mean, I wouldn't. Here's the thing. I wouldn't. Yeah, because again, now putting that trans man into is more dangerous for them. But then again, on the reverse side, it might be more dangerous for everyone. So, like I said, just men's prison segregated. I wouldn't say solitary confinement, only because that's pretty cruel. It's actually condemned. Solitary confinement is actually condemned by Amnesty International as a human rights violation. So, I mean, even if I went to prison for some reason, I'd be like solitary right now and for every day that I'm here. I'd rather be alone. But
yeah, when you're talking about cops,
when you
talk about earlier about the cops that go to jail, they get put in solitary confinement. They're put.
Well, no, they get put in what is it called? Protective custody, which is you're just segregated off. So let's say there's multiple people in protective custody, they all go together in the same place. So it's almost like a little offshoot area, or at least that's been my experience.
Guys, you know who needs protective custody? Mother Earth. Mother Earth. And I'm transitioning. Yes, you're right.
Rainn Wilson. I guess you have to go to the men's side.
Shameless.
Rainn Wilson changed his name to Rainfall, Heat Wave, Rising Sea Levels Wilson. Who's to blame?
No one. Is awesome. Keep doing it. Keep doing crazy wackadoo shit, celebrity. That's, why not? He's set for life on his office money. Who cares? Do anything. Get face tattoos. Just do something. Keep yourself relevant. Is
that just a celebrity thing to change your name to weird shit? Or, I mean, it's not like a name that doesn't.
I don't know. Ask Meta World Peace. Ask Meta World Peace or Puff Daddy
Nathan,
or Prince.
Yeah.
Nathan, what do you got to say about it?
Oh, I'm gonna change my name to Nathan Gets Free Peanut M&Ms every time he goes in any store, Wallace. And then see how that works for me. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. This is the action that you're gonna take. This is insanity. Oh, I'm gonna name myself. Let's stop the rainforest from burning. Nathan, come on, man.
You want to do comedian too, so and then he went extreme with it.
He's a comedic actor.
And his first name is Rain, so now it's just Rainfall, Heat Wave, Rising Sea Levels. Wilson.
As he drives his car to get on the plane to fly to the studio to do the movie that's right off the. Come on, man. I mean, this is what you're gonna do. This is so. Don't act like you're doing this for the world. You're doing this for your own fame. You should have just named himself "Please Love Me." That's.
Well, I mean, you can do both. You don't have to just be for fame or for philanthropy.
It's true, but do something that's gonna matter.
Active. Yeah, I know he's very active in it. I know he spends a lot of time and money on it. But again, who you're hurting? When you change your name, you have to pay to do it. So it's not using up any tax dollars. Who gives a shit? Change your name to, Fart Master for all I care. Who cares?
He's following in Kanye's footsteps.
The main thing I took from what you just said is who gives a shit.
Yeah. I am black Ramos.
That article drove me
change it
so
to whatever
insane,
you
bro.
want.
I was like, I hate this person. I was like, okay, I hope he's
Well,
watching.
how can you
Okay.
hate Wade Wilson? Okay.
I will say I'm a huge Office fan. So whether you love what he did or hate what he did, just separate the art from the artist. That's all. It's still
I
still
don't
an
really
awesome
care
show.
what he did. Yeah, I don't care what he did. I just felt it was irrelevant. Everyone knows that the water's rising. Everyone knows that we're killing the earth on a daily basis. There is not a single person, one of us, that doesn't know that.
Oh
And we
no,
still
people don't
continue to
believe
do it every
that.
single
No,
day.
people,
So like, what is the point?
no,
Like,
people are like, it's cyclical.
Whoa. There are still a lot of people who are climate change deniers. I know because my
Yeah.
father was one up until last year.
oh, I was too until I seen Wade Wilson change his name. Now look at me. I drive a Prius.
Well, we're gonna have more climate change deniers because there was no red wave. There was no red wave. So now they're gonna no, I'm just kidding. All right, so there was no red wave, guys. And by that I mean the Republicans did not have this big victory during the midterms. Who's to blame?
Well, that was a very, very clumsy transition on your part. And I wasn't done, but that's fine. For right now, let's just all agree that climate change is real because it is. And let's all just agree that it is for the sake of argument.
No,
Let's all
we're
just
on
say
to
that
the
it's
red
real
wave.
because it is. But it's fine. I think we deserve to go. I really do. I think humans had a good run, and we fucked it up, and then we didn't change, and we were stubborn and
Harry,
argumentative.
we have
and
stopped
fuck off.
talking
All right.
about. We've moved on to the red wave.
Yeah,
There
fine.
was no red wave. And I have already explained what a red wave was. It has nothing to do with climate change. It's about the midterm.
My bad.
Who is to blame for that? Why was there no red wave, guys?
well, that means she's
I
pregnant.
think we all know. I think we all know when the New York Post and Fox News and everybody just comes out swinging against Donald Trump and calling him a loser and he's dragging him down and all that. Like it's pretty unprecedented what I've seen the Republican Party do in the last week when it comes to Donald Trump, because I think they had enough. I think they've had enough of the
after
craziness.
they lost.
Huh?
That all happened after they lost. So
Well, no, but I'm saying I agree with them. I think that by backing a lot of, because remember, we were talking about this last week and you were very concerned from my mental health, only because it wasn't that I thought Republicans were going to have a huge victory. I don't care if Republicans have a huge victory, but election deniers is a different animal. Because those people are really, really dangerous because they can change laws on a state level to where you can literally like just say Arizona is just a Republican state forever now. And then there's no will of the
So
people anymore. That's what they
blaming
did
the
in
election
Russia and
deniers?
China. Huh?
Are you blaming the election deniers?
100%. I think people looked at that and was like, and finally, and I was worried last week because I thought that people were actually going to buy into that. I really did. I 100% thought that people were going to latch onto that and be like, absolutely. And I have never been more happy to be wrong about the American people because that's why China has a president for life now. They have a president for life now because they used the cracks in the system. And all their elections are just mockery at this point. Nothing, it doesn't matter. I don't want to see that happen here. Even if it's a Democrat, I don't want to see that happen. If it's a Republican, I don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen for anybody.
What just happened?
Nothing. Jesus.
I don't know. My Zoom just restarted. I'm here though.
What are your thoughts, Nathan?
Oh man. That's the one article out of all the ones that you sent me I didn't even bother reading. I am a hater of politics, man. I'm actually very anti-government. And the only reason I'm that way is because I feel like a large portion of our government was created in order to build the laws, because as a people, we couldn't speak. We were too spread across the country. But now look, I'm talking to you guys. You're on the other coast of Florida. We don't need these guys to speak for us anymore. We can now speak for ourselves digitally across words. We can vote. We can do all the things. The voting systems can be done directly through us. And we really don't need a big chunk of the government. And it drives me insane that we spend so much time arguing over which one's going to win when we could all be getting together and arguing about what we're going to do to save this country. But instead, we're like, no, we need to elect a person to speak for us because we can't speak for ourselves. What? Technology has changed, man. I don't even like getting into it because I'm really anti-government. Like
I couldn't agree with you more, Nathan. I think the government's broken from the foundation up, mainly because of things like, why does everything have to be more complicated than it actually is? Well, fuck the electoral college. You look, I have a vote, you have a vote. Whoever gets the most votes win. What happened to that? What's the problem with that? They started the electoral college for fucking farmers and shit that couldn't get into town. Like, why does that? Why we don't need that anymore?
Well, you know, when you say it's from the foundation up, see, I don't agree with that, because what a lot of people don't think of when they think about the government is 80% of it is just people like me and you and Giovanni here. They're just workers. They're doing jobs. They're filing paperwork. They're making phone calls. They're literally worker bees. And the top 20% are just, I mean, most of the government are just people just like us, you know, making our $30,000 to $60,000 a year, just trying to struggle and make it. And then you have the people at the top who are the ones that technically we don't even need. And they suckle off of our government money and money that we pay in every single month. And they live these extravagant lives, and we don't even need them any longer because we can speak for ourselves. We only need that 80% to continue to keep working. We need the workers, and it could easily be done with a people-controlled government. So, but
well,
be really careful.
I like your head. I think it might be a little more complicated.
100% more complicated than that.
Well, yeah, but I agree with the fact that, like, I mean, as far as the attraction for them is not the money, it's the power, because, you know, beyond what you see and hear and whatnot, I mean, politicians really aren't allowed to, you know, openly take money. At least they, you know, they're not supposed to. But
they're not openly. Openly was a good word.
Yeah, but that's what the power affords them, is influence and money on the side that they're not supposed to be taking. So why there's not more
money openly through campaign donations?
Right. Yeah. The government's actually fairly cheap as far as their pay goes. The only thing that infuriates me is, I think your average congressman or senator, I think they make like $135,000 a year. The president of the United States makes $425,000 a year. So it's not, you know, Bill Burr does a whole bit about it. You expect a president to stand up to billionaires? He's only making $400,000. But the part that infuriates me the most about that is, if you're ever elected to the House or the Senate, you get your salary for life. So if you serve one term, you get your salary every year for life, including benefits, forever.
Yeah, including benefits.
What other fucking job can you say that at? You won't get fired from Publix and then they just pay you forever.
Well, and that bugs me too. The benefits part is what bugs me, because everyone knows in this country, I mean, everyone has trouble keeping healthcare. We haven't, if you're not spending all your money on healthcare, then you don't have a job and you're getting free healthcare, or you're a single mother and you're getting free healthcare. But they just get healthcare for life. It doesn't make any sense. Like, great healthcare too. Like, for my family, we pay $1,000 a month in healthcare. Almost my entire wife's check goes to it, and it's garbage. You know, they're like, "Oh yeah, we can't look at your teeth." They're like, "What about my eyes? Can you look at my eyes?" They're like, "Nah, we can't look at your eyes." Like, we can have a free haircut. You know.
Well, not even that. What about when Obama was president and he was trying to get, you know, the American Health Care Act through? How can you, in good conscience, as a congressman or a senator, reject giving the people that you represent the same opportunities that you're literally taking from them? Be like, "Oh, you guys, you don't need health care. That's for That's
This
for
is
the
why I don't
wanna
even
get
like
this a
getting
little
into it.
bit-
I get very frustrated.
Oh.
Yeah, the red wave,
I wanna-
blue
I wanna-
wave, all the waves can kiss my ass.
Yeah, they just keep you fighting each other.
I just
Yeah.
want to throw in a little 2 cents because the article that I sent you guys said that Gen Z actually held off that red wave. And I think maybe it has to do with like these single voter issues where people are not just pissed off like with Donald Trump, but they're pissed off with all
Well,
these big
abortion
changes
hurt.
that's happening.
The
Yeah,
abortion
with all
issue
these
hurt them for
changes.
real. Yeah,
Yep, that's exactly right. So
I hope
think
they enjoyed it because that one cost them a
mobilize
lot.
people. And that's not to say that it was this big sweeping victory for the left either, because you didn't get Stacey Abrams through, DeSantis won again, Marco Rubio won again. So it wasn't like it was a big blue wave either. So anyway, that's enough politics for now. We got to speed things along. So I want to welcome our guest, officially welcome him, Nathan Wallace. As you've seen him on Stand Up Nashville on Peacock, Circle TV, and he is a Florida's funniest semifinalist.
Oh,
Welcome,
yeah.
Nathan.
Nice. Thank you for having me. This has actually been pretty fun so far. So thanks for having me.
He is a Florida's funny finalist, in my opinion.
We'll
It's a semifinalist.
only the world can know. There's no telling, Terry. But yeah, we'll see how.
Oh, you're saying you're predicting. Okay.
He's just
I'm
being
So
nice.
Nathan,
He's being nice.
how long have you been doing comedy?
This year, 6 years this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, you
Impressive.
know what? I've been really lucky. I started out my second show. I became the house MC at our local club here, and I did that for a year. So that was 5 shows a week for a year. That really
Wow.
told me I had to write so many jokes, and so in 6 years, I'm sure Terry knows I'm one of the craziest people. I will drive a million miles for 20 minutes and $10. I don't care. I just want to practice, and so I
Yeah.
have moved
It
forward.
doesn't. I'm going to go even further than that. You drove from the west coast of Florida to Fort Lauderdale to pay $25 to do 5 minutes. 4 minutes. Sorry, 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
I'll take you farther than that. I drove. I paid $50 to get into a contest one time and drove to Pennsylvania, and for 5
I
minutes.
got
Yeah, and I
5 minutes in Pennsylvania.
That's a lot more than $50, my man.
well, I paid the initial $50 that I drove to Pennsylvania. I slept in my car, almost froze it up, dude. I didn't know.
Nathan is not fucking around, is what he said.
Apparently not.
I'm gonna play now, but that's why I moved
So
forward.
what
quickly, so.
How did you get started though? You said you told us about your second mic. How did you start off?
It's a weird story. Can I tell it? You got a minute? Or yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the interview portion.
So I was actually at a Sonny's barbecue, and this guy from across me, I said, "Hey man, you look familiar." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the host up at the Laughing." He was the house MC at the time, and we got to talk. We talked for about an hour, and he goes, "Man, you're super funny." He goes, "You should be a comedian." And you think so? And he's like, "Yeah, I've been a plumber at that time for 15 years. I'd never thought about being a comedian." And so I wrote some jokes, and then I was sitting at a bar and there was an open mic, and my buddy goes, "Hey man, you're funnier than these guys. You should go try some of them jokes you wrote." And so I went up there, and boom, I got booked on a paid show that night. It was crazy. Like I got off from my first mic, and he's like, "Who are you?"
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think Fort Myers is a very small pond. There's
He's a
probably
natural.
10 comedians there, but yeah. So then the next show, I went to the Laughing, and I didn't win the open mic to become the house MC because it was a new owner. And after the show, I go, "Hey, if you have any plumbing here that needs to be fixed." And so the next day I came and I fixed some plumbing for him. And he goes, "What do I owe you?" And I was like, "Stage time." And
There
boom,
you go.
he made me the house MC right there. Yeah. So that was that.
That's how I met Eric Cherry, one of the owners of the Improv. I had just started doing comedy like 6 months in, and I was working for a glass and mirror shop, and they were opening the Copper Blues.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was about a year in or something like that, but they were opening the Copper Blues and needed a mirror, and he mentioned his name, and I was like, "Oh, I know you." And it was basically like, I was like, I can't give it to you for free, but I can knock it down to cost. And he goes, what do I owe you? And I go, remember my name. That's what you owe me. Just remember
you
my
gotta get
name
in there
when it
any way you
comes to
can,
booking.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, Gio's gone now. So we'll just continue.
I'm not.
Oh, she's outside
Okay.
now. How did you
No,
move
she's doing
location?
other things. You're so unprofessional today. You were late. You went to a mic. Now you're cutting off your camera. I'm embarrassed.
I messaged you about it, but I guess you.
What the hell does that matter?
Everything seems fine to me. I mean,
No.
I didn't, I'm intermittent fasting, so I mean, I didn't get to eat or anything, but whatever, that's fine.
You hear that?
You're
Torture.
I'm just messing with you. She's like, I don't want to hear it.
What's your next question?
Okay, so next question. I thought you were just gonna ask it, Terry.
That's
but
fine.
That's fine.
What's been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
Oh man, are you a comedian too, Giovanni?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a comedian. I've never met her before.
That's all right.
What is she doing? Is she okay? She's gone.
Don't worry about it. She's live on site at Red Bar in Miami.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's some noise. So no, what's been your biggest challenge doing comedy besides being white?
Yeah, besides being white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a challenge or not. Yeah,
I know that's the.
What's funny is because I'm looking at this, I have a light on. I look extremely white today. Look at this. I'm actually Spanish. I'm actually my father hails from Spain. Ole.
Oh, so you're a Spaniard.
I'm a Spaniard, my man. Yeah.
Oh God, what I wouldn't love to have like a cool moniker like that. I'm just Irish. I'm just pale and drunk. Like I don't. That's all you get.
Yeah, your moniker is. Yeah, your moniker is the sound of knuckles on a woman's face.
Exactly. My moniker is just the sound of "hey" and a slap. That's what my moniker is.
These potatoes are horrible.
I used to do a joke. I used to do a joke in my act where I was like, "Oh, you're going to complain about your heritage and your culture? Oh, that's so sad. All I'm known for is hereditary alcoholism and a potato famine. My people almost died because one vegetable didn't grow." It's like, dude, eat a fucking carrot. What's the matter with you?
So what was the biggest challenge? I missed it. How did y'all get here?
Because you left and you left me unsupervised.
Yeah, we just started talking about potatoes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
what
like,
is the biggest challenge?
And I was like, potatoes.
So what was your, first of all, Terry skipped one. What has been your proudest moment, or
Well, I'm on the BlameGirl podcast. That's
Shut the hell up.
I've made it. No, actually just recently. Okay, because I started comedy very late. I started when I was 33 years old. So in comedian terms, if you're established later in life, you're okay, but mainly you need to establish before you're 40, and then you're okay after that. A lot of times you're not going to make it to that upper echelon in your 50s unless you've already kind of established, right? It's very rare. So I had set a goal for myself to be able to eventually retire in comedy, to be able to do cruise ships. Like I wrote An Hour Clean and An Hour Dirty, and it took me 6 years to do it. So I have a full hour clean, a full hour dirty, and a cruise ship actually reached out to me. I'm not ready to go there yet. I want to wait until I'm in my 50s. But that was like a major goal of mine, was to be able to do that. Because being a plumber, although we do make great money, I have 2 kids, I have a mortgage, I have cars. Retirement wasn't something that looked like it was ever going to happen for me. But honestly, doing cruise ships, even if I did that till I was 80, that to me is retirement. If you snake out somebody's toilet and you get poop on your face, telling jokes on a cruise ship just seems like a
Doesn't
dream.
sound too bad.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
like an upgrade.
just recently, whenever they reached out to me and asked me to do it, and I know I'm confident in both of those sets. I've headlined over 70 shows this year, and I've done the clean and the dirty, just back and forth, and I'm very confident in the sets. So that was my proudest moment. I was like, you know what? I hit this goal way early. So now where do I go from here? You know, so
having 2 separate hours in 6 years is pretty impressive for your average, regional comedian. I've got 75 minutes total, and it's been 11 years, so I'm quite jealous of your progress.
Well, when I say that it's a crossover, I would say like each set has about 25 minutes of different in it.
Okay.
So there is crossover.
But that's still,
yeah.
But even if it's 90 minutes in 6 years is good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he said that in his first year, he was working a club 5 nights a week. So he wrote a lot. So.
Right. And what do I always tell the new comics we have on here? I always say, if you want to get good fast, get yourself in.
If you're forced into a position where you have to present. Oh, Nathan, so your proudest moment was.
Never mind. But yeah, I always tell them, get yourself an open mic. Start your own open mic. If it was like me, you'd get regulars in there every week.
Shout to you.
So it kind of forces you.
Oh, you're freezing up really bad, Giovanni.
Yeah. So we're just moving on.
She gone. No, and I see me. I'm really like about hosting. A lot of people don't like to host, but it makes you so strong. Like I still host. I host all the time. I'm one of these people. I just want to tell jokes. I don't care about headlining, featuring, hosting, guest spotting. If I'm gonna fill the day, I'm gonna fill the day because I just want to be up there, dude. I lived a life of manual labor for a very long time. So telling jokes to me is like the bee's knees, man. I can't. Every time I get up there, I can't even believe they're even letting me do it. I'm like, oh, this is. It was something that never fathomed in my head. But if I say somebody that they want to get better quick, go host, because most of the time you're 15 minutes plus, you're coming out cold as ice. You're learning how to deal with a crowd, whether the feature bomb, whether the host bombs, you're learning how to deal with these people. And once you're about the third weekend and some lady comes up to you and goes, you're really funny, but we would like to hear some new jokes. You're going to start writing some new jokes,
Well, not even that, but I like hosting because there's no pressure, right? If you're the headliner and you bomb, the whole show's on your back. If you're the feature and you bomb, you got to answer the headliner. If you're the host and you bomb, be like, hey, it's a cold audience. What are you going to do? I'm just the host. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a whole lot of pressure.
I feel like
Nathan, a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like the host can make or break a show, though. A bad host can mess up a show. The headliner will save it if they're a good headliner. But a bad
host, you got to be pretty bad.
They set the tone. They set the tone. So anyway, what were you saying, Giovanni? Sorry.
I was just going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself as an individual. Like, what's your day job? Where you from? You got family?
I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. I'm 4th generation raised here in Fort Myers.
Are you still doing the plumbing during the day?
I work in an office. Actually, it's funny. Today, I repiped a house because we're down a couple guys at the shop. But I work for Bill's Plumbing, which is my best friend since we were 14. We started the company together. 14, 13, 10 years ago. I don't know even how long ago. And so now I work in the office. I do the invoicing, scheduling, bidding, permitting. And he mainly works in the field, but when we're down on guys, I still go out. And I, honestly, I enjoy it just because I did put a lot of time into plumbing. I became, if not the highest paid plumber, the second highest paid plumber in all of Lee County, easily. Before I quit my last job, because I left Bill's Plumbing to go learn how to learn how to run a company. And that company I worked for, I made, over $100,000 a year, like nothing, So, but I left that to come do this, and now I just make a regular pay. But what's nice about Bill is I can do all my work from a computer, so I can travel. Plus, he's my best friend. He wants me to succeed in this. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't care if I travel and do all these things. So it really works out well for me because I can pull a paycheck, take care of my family, while also going out and trying to push for this dream thing. And I hate calling it a dream. It's not technically a dream thing. I just really, really like doing it. When a person laughs, it makes me so happy, you know. So
right,
you know, I'm
How many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a 3-year-old and a 14-year-old.
big gap.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were
like, I'm not having another kid until his first kid can babysit the next one.
I actually tell that as a joke. Actually, that's a joke of mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I go. We got a babysitter, so we might as well have a baby.
Yeah.
But what happened was, I was a plumber in 2008, and we had just got married. We've been married about 2 years. Decided to have a baby. We didn't see this recession coming, and like literally, I lost my job. My wife lost her job the next week. She worked at a car rental place, and then we found out the next week she was pregnant. So yeah, so we lost our house, we lost everything. And so we were just in no place to have a baby. It took us 10 years to rebuild up to where we could have another child. Literally had a baby in the next year a pandemic hit. So I'm pretty sure it's the 4 horsemen.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't play
I'd
it
watch out
outright,
for pestilence and plague.
All right. Do you have any projects or like podcasts, anything that you're working on that you'd like to share with people?
Yeah, actually I do. Coming up at the beginning of the year, I'll be on dropping my first 30-minute special. It's going to be on Open Bar, which is a new like a new thing. So you got Dry Bar and it's all clean. Open Bar allows comedians to do whatever they want. So it's going to be basically the same thing. It's going to be subscriber generated. They built NFTs. Is that what it is? NFTs? They built some NFTs of our images, and we're just going to try to push that thing out. I'm excited about it. The only thing that's different for me is like I'm primarily known as being a clean comedian, but for some reason, man, I passed out in a bathroom that night. So we were filming 2. I know it was weird. I had this like inner ear problem, and we were filming 2. I filmed the first one. It was just okay. I went full clean, and it was okay. So I go to the sushi place around the corner from McCurdy's. I get some sushi and I go to the bathroom and I pass out. I hit my head on the toilet and I'm just laying in the sushi bathroom. I don't even know how long I was in there. It was like 45 minutes to the next show. And I get up, I get my food. I like stagger over to this place and they're like, "Oh my God, Nathan, you got 5 minutes. You're up. So I go running up there and I opened up with some of the dirtiest material I have and I did 30 minutes of it and I crushed it. They're like, "That's the tape we're keeping." I'm like, all right, wonderful,
See, and that just goes to prove, I don't care what the audience, everyone likes dirty material. You say what you want, everyone likes it. Everyone does.
Yeah. They liked it that night. I'll say that's the tape that's coming out. So it is a little worrisome for me because I do get paid more money doing clean shows. The more clean I do.
Of course, yeah, no, you definitely. It's always more profitable because you can take corporate gigs, you can take private gigs, you can tailor it and it is more difficult to work clean. I'll agree with that. But in 11 years, every audience I've ever asked, "Do you want a clean show or a dirty show?" Nobody's ever said a clean show.
And honestly, when you watch a special when it comes out at the beginning of the year, it's Nathan Wallace. It is Nathan Wallace. I felt the most me on stage I had felt in a long time. And honestly, since then, I've been doing a lot more of that, like what I want to do rather than, and I'm not up there saying the F word. I'm not up there being.
I'm doing a podcast live right now. I don't have anything.
Don't keep going, Nathan. Don't worry about it. It cuts away from her when you're talking.
Yeah. So I don't have any like derogatory stuff. I mean, in one of my jokes, I mimic Henry Ford blowing Thomas Edison. I mean, that's about as dirty as it gets in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a very funny joke.
Yeah. Perfect.
But it made me realize that just be Nathan Wallace and people will enjoy it, So.
Are you ready to play the blame game, Nathan?
Sure. I don't know what that is, but I'm ready.
All right. It's just another way for me to work some blaming in. Okay. Hurricanes can't stop comedy. Who's to blame? You live in Fort Myers where they were just battered with the hurricane and you're still out here in these streets. Tell us about it.
Oh, it stopped comedy. All right. That shit stopped it dead in its tracks. It was so funny. I had 4 headlining gigs here. I was going to make a really good amount of money that I was counting on, unfortunately. Never count on comedy money, by the way, rule number 1. And then the hurricane came and just wiped all of that out. So then 2 weeks later, I make a poster. I got the Danny Improv, I got West Palm Improv, all these things. And then the hurricane hits the other side and wipes out all that. So hurricane definitely can stop some comedy. I mean, dead in its tracks. If anything, we found out that even a cold can stop comedy pretty damn good. COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said even a cold. It's a little bit more than a cold.
It's a pretty strong cold, but.
Do you want to give out any of your socials for people to follow you or anything?
Yeah, I'm Nathan Stands Up on everything. So that's at Nathan Stands Up. That's across the board. You can find me there, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And
I love the uniformity.
Yeah,
Terry Wayne comedy on all platforms.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a web page.
All right, Terry Wayne, do you have words for white people tonight?
Yes, I do. Actually, I have words for all people this week.
Okay.
And this week, the word of the week is complacency, because we've been talking about it a couple of weeks now. Several changes have been happening in my life. They're kind of forcing me to make decisions and I think make decisions and that I don't really want to have to make under the gun. And it makes me wish that I wouldn't have gotten so complacent in the life that I have right now. If I would have made, more decisions ahead of time, stronger opinions and decisions about me, my life, and my future, I would have been able to prepare better to change things up and move things around. But again, I fell into the trap of complacency, which I think a lot of people do. So my advice if you feel complacent, you got to make that plan, that 3-year plan, that 5-year plan, that 10-year plan, and start making strong moves to get to where you want to be. Because sitting around, you're just waiting for the decisions to be made for you. And that's always going to put you behind the 8 ball, just like I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball right now. So my advice to you, make those plans, think about where you want to be, and then make strong moves when you got it. When you got the best of it, you need to make strong moves to make it better. Because when it hits you when you're down, it's going to suck. It always does. It's happened to me multiple times. So that's the one thing I'm trying to change about the way I think about my choices and my life. And I would recommend everyone of all races and genders and religions and whatever. I would recommend to everybody to do that. So no more complacent people. You're still on mute, Gio.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself.
I'm not, but I learn from my mistakes. That's what I try to do.
I think right now we're all being put in situations where we have to be like this or that. And I don't think it's because we've made any bad decisions in our life. I think it's because of the bad economy, quite frankly. So
it is what it is. And like I said, nobody's got a gun to my head. I just now am under the gun to make decisions that I should have been making last year, in my opinion. But again, complacency gets the best of us. And I'm not beating myself up. I'm not saying I made a mistake. I just didn't prepare like I should have, like I normally would have.
All right.
They used to think behind the 8 ball, Terry. You just got to stop judging everybody. You gotta get out.
You should stop.
Just get out from behind the 8 ball. That's how you make your days better and easier on yourself. Man, Definitely. Don't be
No,
so hard
it's
on
really
yourself.
not as bad as I'm thinking about it, but I'm not in a terrible position. I don't like having to do things when I'm forced to. I would rather do things at my own pace. And if I would have done that earlier when I had the best of it, it would have been a lot better right now. But hey, we used to think putting polybutylene piping in houses was a good idea. Learn from that mistake, right, plumber?
Well, I mean, it was a good idea for me. We made a lot of money off of that stuff.
I know you did.
Yeah.
What was that? A $500 million lawsuit? Yeah.
It worked out nice. Yeah.
Plumber,
All right, guys.
inspector.
Oh.
What do y'all have any shows coming up you want to tell people about?
I don't. I have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah,
right
I'll shout out some shows here. Guys, come see me at the shows. We have a good time. You know, the other day I went to the Orlando Improv. There was nobody there. I barked everybody into that place from the Orlando into the Fat Fish Blue, and we had a great time. I promise you, come see Nathan Wallace. We're gonna have a good time. And if you don't have a good time, you don't have to come see me again. But come see me at least once. Let's see.
Where can they catch you this week?
Actually, this week you can catch me I'm gonna be over there at that the Red Light, the strip club there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right down the street from my house. I'll come down and say hello.
I'll be there on the 20th. I'm gonna be doing a headline in that there. I think it's only a 30-minute spot, so I don't know if it's a headline or not. I'm closing the showcase. So come on by there.
You don't really have to twist my arm to get me to a strip club.
All right, come on by. I'm gonna have my titties out. We're gonna be going. And then Ave Maria. This is good for your coast too. It's not that far. It's about halfway down the alley. You know where Ave Maria is? It's at the Oasis Kitchen. Come on by. I'll be headlining 2 shows there on the 26th. That'll be 7 and 9 p.m. It's really amazing food, and they'll be semi-clean, like PG-13. I think they're telling me to do there. But you got 2 opportunities to come see me that night, 7 and 9 p.m. at the Oasis in Ave Maria. So there we go. Come check it out.
Hey, y'all check out Nathan, and then I've got tonight. Clearly, I'm on location at Red Bar. Wednesday, I'm gonna be at again in Miami at Comedy Cabana, and then on Saturday, I'm gonna be in Port St. Lucie at Kava Cat. And then on Sunday, I'll be at the West Palm Beach Improv on the Jacked Up show. So
that's one thing I do have. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Nadeem show is this Wednesday at the West Palm Improv. Nadeem Awad and friends. I'm hosting that.
Are you on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna host.
He's the Hulk.
Oh, okay. So you can catch Nathan at the Improv this week.
Yeah, catch me.
And don't forget, the book is on sale on Amazon. Unclaimed Ashes on sale right now. Kindle, paperback, and hardcover.
It's gonna make a good holiday read, guys. So, all right. Thank you, Nathan.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being patient with me, Terry Wayne, and my lateness and booking shows on our.
We're gonna talk
day.
later.
I know. All right. I didn't even ask you because I was like, he's gonna be like, hell no.
She looked annoyed. She was like, I know.
I know.
This last minute Red Bar shit.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Until next week, guys.
Bye.
All right.